Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of 100 Yards Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your host and producer for the show, Logan Landers, and joining me here today to talk about why we think Steve Spagnuolo is the best coordinator in the National Football League. Help me out, Mr. William Yanish III. William, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Logan. How about yourself, huh?
Doing well, doing well. Glad to hear you're doing good as also. And we're also glad that you, our fans, are doing good today and tuning into us live here, Facebook and YouTube, and also downloading our podcast available all around Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else you enjoy your podcast. You can find us over there. So, William, tell us why you think that Steve Spagnuolo is the best coordinator in the NFL as you see him there rocking with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Because he just beat my beloved 49ers
Oh, no.
Super Bowl and, our super uber, talented, genius of a offensive led, whatever, Kyle Shanahan and Christian McCaffrey and all that. No, man. As soon as I heard the subject come up and I'm like, I can definitely do that.
Yeah.
So, no, man. And then I started to realize something. I looked at Steve Spagnuolo, his 4-3 base defense, and I started to look. I was like, man, that is the defense that I always used to run on Madden. I was like,
No,
I,
it looks familiar.
I mean, you got cornerbacks coming, you got safeties coming, you got middle linebacker, you got two coming. You never know. I mean, his offense is what is meant to wreak havoc. And I saw that, and then I started looking up the dates, and I mean, it's like this guy was a, pretty much a college kid when Madden came out. I was like, I can see that, I can see the influence here in what he does, and being able to take an offense like like the Kyle Shanahan led San Francisco 49ers and hold them to you know that many points in a Super Bowl. And I mean, this guy does it on the biggest stage too. The guy's got what, 3 Super Bowl rings? One with the Giants. He is a defensive coordinator at heart. This isn't a head coach guy. This is your coordinator. And if he were good at everything, you know, then he would be the head coach kind of guy. But this is a defensive guy where you take the right matchups and you take things like Chris Jones collapsing the pocket and George Karlaftis and Leo Chanel and some of those linebackers, Drew Tranquil, um, Nick Bolton, uh, and just going out to the safety, with Justin Reed. I mean, this fits everything that does well with with what he runs as a defense. The 4-3 and nowadays league, the majority of the snaps would be run under, it would be 4-2-5 nickel package. I'm sure just somewhere out there would be like 40 some percent of the snaps, but because of how offenses are constructed. So then, like I said, then you have five, defensive backs to take care of and account for, and with the coverage ability of these linebackers, it's not Spagnuolo just he excels at what he does. He understands the matchups. He understands throwing, this guy, coming off the edge over here to blitz, and it just screws everything up on the timing or the rhythm of an offense. It is just meant to wreak havoc. It's not meant to suffocate. It's just meant to go out there and destroy that offense, and cause turnovers. And this guy is the best at what he does, and he has that aura about him. He has that reputation about what he does as a defensive coordinator and making those play calls, and just it makes him the best. I mean, I don't know what else to say. When you can do what they did to our Niners, then that's all I got.
Yes, sir. And when I look at Steve Spagnuolo, and we've talked about, the Chiefs dynasty they built over there, the Mahomes and Kelsey connection, where that's going to rank among the greats. Andy Reid kind of, flipping a script on his career, being known as someone who was always there, couldn't get it done with Philadelphia. But then once he's came to Kansas City, they've looked like a completely different ball club since he's arrived. And Steve Spagnuolo has really been a big part of that. When you look at what they did this past year, and like you said, obviously won Super Bowl rings, a couple of those. He also is the only coordinator in the NFL in their entire history to win 4 Super Bowls and be the sole coordinator to win a Super Bowl with 2 different teams, of course, the Giants and the Chiefs. So he is part of a history right here, and his defense is a big part of that. Because let's not forget, William, last year, it really wasn't the Chiefs' offense that everyone was talking about. It was how good that defense was playing. And they got hot, and they did not stop, man. They were great last year. When you look at them, second fewest points per game in 17.3. Second fewest offensive points in total with 271. Second fewest opponent yards per game at 289. I mean, and I think, and we saw the real reason they won is because the second half, this team just became a different unit. First in the league in second half points allowed, only 126 points allowed. And they had 3 second half shutouts. I mean, that just tells you how good this team was. And it also lets you know that Spagnuolo and the rest of the team, they're listening to the adjustments at halftime. They're going in the locker room because they know that this guy has got it done before, is a winner, has made a lot of money being really good at his job as a defensive guru. And as we know, in the playoffs this past year, right? The top 3 ranked offenses in the AFC only averaged 15.7 points. As you mentioned, we saw what they did in the Super Bowl as well. We just talked about the 49ers, and we did a team preview on them. Go check that out. And we were talking about how good that team is on offense and defense, how it's scary on both ends. And William, as you know, you're up there, but you still got to knock off the Kings first.
Yeah.
Or in this case, the Chiefs. You still got to knock them off. And with Steve Spagnuolo, as we're talking about here, why we think he's the top coordinator, not just offensive, just the best coordinator. It's nice to look back and see all the work that, of course, the players did on the field. Let's not forget this is a guy who has to draw up the plays, get the players in the right spot, and ultimately help them execute at the end of the day. Steve Spagnuolo. Is he the best coordinator in the NFL? We want to hear it from you in our comments. Do you think he's the best defense coordinator, or is he not? Who do you think might be the best? We want to hear it on Facebook and YouTube. And, of course, go and check out our podcast every single week. For Mr. William Yanish III, I've been your host and producer, Logan Landers. Guys, once again, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we'll talk to you again on another